Hey, everybody, it's Eddie from Tokyo, and I have a special guest with me tonight. This is Kai Lavoie, and it is really a pleasure. I'm a little embarrassed. I was slow to recognize this project. As you know, I like to pay attention to what's going on the XRP ledger all the time, but sometimes I get very tunnel visioned and focused on the world of payments. And so there's just a whole lot going on in the world of XRP, a lot more than just payments. But, we do get kind of entrenched in what we feel is our specialty or our passion, or, it's just, I really like the digital asset space with the use of a crypto bridge currency. So, I'm not just, I'm looking at all of the different use cases out there. And I found that this project kind of like went under my radar for a long time until I watched Thinking Crypto, which is Tony's channel. And then I started to look back and do my own research. And Kai, I'm going to let you do most of the talking here tonight, but I just want to tell my audience here that I shared with my patrons when I did the research on October 29th, XPunks were mentioned in the Ripple Insights. And I think I saw that, but I just didn't really give it much thought. Then on January 17th, the OXP token was released. Okay, so I saw that again and didn't think too much. And then March 10th, Ripple X announced an official partnership with you. Now that got my attention. That definitely got my attention. But then I realized that you had also released a white paper. And I didn't see the white paper until I saw you on Thinking Crypto. Then March 15th, XPunks was at the Ripple House. I saw that. April 11th, you posted on Twitter that you have a version 2.0 coming. And there was like a little bit of like anticipation of what that was going to bring. Then on April 20th, was the Thinking Crypto and Tony. Finally, so you've been going since October, and then I finally start to pay attention in April. So that's why I feel I'm so far behind. And now I also learned that you're going to be speaking, you yourself are going to be speaking in Lisbon at the Linqto Global Conference on May 18th and 19th. So you really need to let everybody know what it is you're doing, because obviously it's a lot. And I did use your OnXRP trade site. I used it with the Sum wallet, and yeah, I feel like I want to high five you. And I think for a lot of people, it seems a little bit like a big learning curve, but it wasn't. It was so intuitive. It really was, it really was. It was just, actually, it was too easy, So, okay, so I stop here. Please tell us everything that's going on.
Where do I start? There's a lot going on currently. We recently launched version 2. And completely UI, UX overall. I think the most important aspect that we really paid attention to, which is one of our biggest USPs, is we really strive to make blockchain as accessible as possible. So I'm very happy that you say that the DEX is very intuitive, because we literally have 6 people working on the UX and UI and customer journey to make sure that it is actually intuitive. Because what I've heard from people around me, that are not like entering the blockchain space, they are a little bit scared because they think it's very complex, but it doesn't have to be, because a lot of these triggers or API calls can happen on the back end without showing it on the interface to users. And I think that's an important aspect to really pay attention to, is making it accessible. So yeah, that's what we've been doing. And also with the launch of OnXRP version 2, really focusing on the UI aspect. We are an NFT ecosystem mainly. Obviously, we also welcome utility tokens like Nerian, for example. However, our core business is NFTs, also with the NFT marketplace, the games we're going to launch. And so in my opinion, and in our whole team's opinion, NFTs are something that is aesthetically pleasing, that is art, you know? So we wanted to reflect that on our entire platform. And I think we did a pretty good job with that.
So if I'm not mistaken, and correct me if I ever get it off or wrong, you're going to be kind of the place, the DEX for those projects, those kinds of projects that you just mentioned in those kind of ecosystems where people can trade. So you're aggregating all of those projects onto your platform for one location in the XRPL community, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So what we want to do is to make the on-ramping into the XRPL ecosystem as easy as possible, to make sure that all these individual projects that have been popping up, they get access, they get liquidity from external players. So when we first launched the XPunks with the token, we were the first in the world to issue a token that basically tokenized the whole whitelisting. A lot of projects followed us, and there was no place to trade these tokens except for putting in a custom issuer address, which is a very extensive way to do it. So we thought, what if we just curate them and by setting up a set of listing requirements and list all those on our DEX. And then next step would be an NFT marketplace for secondary sales. And also last week, we released our submission form for a launchpad, which means that we offer a solution for all these projects to also mint their series using their own IOU token, whitelist token, voucher, however you want to call it, on our launchpad without having to build it themselves. So they can really focus on creating, maintaining their NFTs, maintaining their community, and then we take care of the launch strategy. We'll write an article about them. We'll promote them on our social media as it's if it's our own portfolio, meaning that if they have updates or announcements, that they can leverage our social media and our platform to tell the world about them. And I think that's important because NFTs are creators should be focused on creating NFTs, creating art, creating utility, but the whole business aspect of things, there's no necessity for them to focus on if you use OnXRP. So that's what we want to offer with our launchpad and also with our NFT marketplace. And everything we are doing and will be into creating the whole platform as accessible as possible, also using like easy ways of payment, easy ways of providing liquidity, more ways, for example, also to utilize XRP. Like we announced, I think last week, that we're partnering with Onboard to build a bridge to Ethereum and from Ethereum. So people will be able to wrap their XRP, send it to Ethereum, and then actually use it in liquidity pools. And in my experience, and that's also a personal experience, I never wanted to sell XRP. And there was no place to stake it. However, you had Flare, you had some rumors there, but it never really came to fruition and nobody really knows when it will happen. So there's a lot of people sitting on their XRP, even though that's not necessary. So we want to offer the solution by wrapping their XRP, sending it to Ethereum, and being able to use EVM capabilities on Ethereum with their wrapped XRP, basically.
So that's going to open up a whole new world for the XRP community again. Do you see maybe in the future too some other bridges with Allbridge to other ecosystems as well? So this is really, this really is becoming a multi-chain world, isn't it?
Yeah, so we are very blockchain agnostic. However, we feel like that the XRPL should be the central place for all these bridges, basically, because it's cheap, it's fast, and it's decentralized, obviously. So it makes sense to take the XRPL as a central place and then bridge it to other chains. And that's what we're trying to achieve. We want to offer a place for everyone to, bridge their assets, multi-chain, and at the end, you have all the metaverses coming up. And I think it would make sense to bridge those NFTs and bridge everything to really create a multi-dimensional online ecosystem, basically.
Oh my gosh, how do you keep track of all of the projects that, are you doing vetting on them, or do you, when you curate, do you have this list that they have to achieve these kinds of standards, or is it just to open the door and let everybody in? How does that work?
I'll give you a little bit of an explanation on how the XPL works in regards to the XLS20 NFTs. It is similar to the current DEX. So it is through the order book is built in the DEX itself, and the DEX is built in the ledger. So meaning that if you put in an order on one DEX, it also pops on the other DEX. So it's initially, it's not an actual DEX that we have, but it's more of a DEX interface that communicates with the ledger. And that it's an interface basically, and the DEX itself is in the ledger. Same thing will happen with XLS20 tokens or NFTs, meaning that the marketplaces decide which ones they show or not. It's not the projects that say, hey, I want to get listed on XRP, or hey, I want to get listed on a different NFT marketplace on the XPL. So it will be popping up everywhere. So what we will be doing is we'll be showing every NFT project. That's no problem. We want to offer everyone a solution to buy secondary NFTs on our marketplace. However, those who will use our launchpad, those will be curated. It will be done a KYC procedure, completely regulatory compliant. And then also we have a set of listing requirements. We have a whole onboarding form. I think there's like 20 questions you have to answer to, and then we'll go into a one-on-one interview. And only afterwards, if they pass everything, then they'll get a verification status and they'll be onboarded on our launchpad. And then after launchpad, their profile get verified, and then also secondary market sales basically will be popping up there.
Yeah. I'm one of those people that want to see the blockchain open to all, but I also am a person that has seen that it needs to be some guardrails or some safety net in there, because there's just for every 1,000 good actors, there's one bad actor that ruins it for everyone. So I totally understand that there's a tiny bit of a hurdle for the onboarding within the launchpad. I understand that. I totally understand that.
And even then, we will not be able to promise that that there's not going to be any rocks, because we all know what happened with BitConnect. They were very open about their plans and very public, but they still rocked everyone.
And also too, as we're seeing in this space too, a lot of things are being done for the first time. So I just was listening to Naveen Gupta talk on something that he did in Singapore a year ago, and he was getting a lot of questions from the audience about miscellaneous stuff, and what his answer was made such an impression with me, because a lot of these projects are doing things for the very first time, so it's really kind of in an experimental stage. So even today, when we saw some big things happening in the ecosystem, we've got a project out there that was trying to do a stable coin in a way that was for the very, very first time. And these things are just, it's still in a very experimental, non-proven method. Everybody can have the absolute best intentions and not want to have any, misalignment with trust and all of that. But gosh, this is a brand new space, and we just don't know yet, even those people who maybe aren't bad actors, but we're in a very unknown, just first time kind of space still.
And I think transparency there is the key to still, like, you can make mistakes. It's normal. Like, look at Elon Musk and SpaceX, how many rockets he tried to shoot up in space and land without it working out. But at some point it did work out, and now he completely revolutionized the world. So I think it's a similar process with blockchain. It's trial and error until it works, and that's how you learn, and that's how the curve goes. However, you need to be transparent and honest, otherwise it doesn't work.
So this is kind of just a little off the path, but I'm very impressed. I'm looking at a lot of websites, as you do every day, right? But whoever has done your website, that design is amazing. I want you to tell me who that person is who is doing that, because that is really a standout design. That is really standout.
So there are two key players in this. The one is the head of design from Semtrex, which is our tech partner who builds everything. Her name is Min Sung. Huge shout out to her because she is honestly great.
Yeah.
And together with Louis de Jong, who's also the creator of the XPunks and who is our head of communications and head of creative director. He has a lot of functions within us from OnXRP and the XPunks. So it's them two who mainly did the whole design for that.
It's fabulous looking. I'm really, it's very attractive. So you've done a lot and you've got, I'm sure, a lot that is coming up and happening. Is there anything that you can share with people that we should look forward to or that you can talk about that would be interesting for those who are maybe wanting to follow your project now?
You mean like teasers that are not public yet?
I would take anything.
So one thing that I can share is we're building a game. The last meeting I had was to test the game. It's also trial and error, but it's going to be cool. It's a 10-player multiplayer battle royale kind of style game. And it's like winner takes all. Like the capabilities on the XPL in regards to tokens without smart contracts are they're quite limited. So we utilize the escrow functionality in order to do staked games, which is possible. So we'll be doing that as a first game. In the next few days, I hope to like bring out a teaser or something like that. And we have I can say the teaser we've been teasing with the XPunks each day, like Thursday, Friday, yesterday, and today's the last letter, EDE. Today the letter will be N. You know it. I'll be releasing it in 2.5 hours.
That's great.
Yeah, and it's the last letter. It's called Eden. And we'll be announcing a little bit more over us soon.
Great.
And there's going to be lots of extra functionality to our decks. I hope to tease our NFT marketplace in the next couple of weeks as well. So we're hoping that XLS20 will be ready mid to end June. However, we don't know for certain because the validators need to vote for 2 weeks straight. Let's see if I have another teaser, but yeah, we'll be really focused on, like I said, like on-ramping, off-ramping, not only tokens, also fiat, making everything very easy to use, and also for others to bring liquidity towards the XPL, basically.
Your timing's amazing. Yeah, your timing is really perfect. So Twitter, is that the best place to follow you? What's going on? Is it?
Yeah.
Where Twitter. It's all happening.
Exactly. Twitter is, we currently have 2 Twitter accounts. There will be popping up a 3rd Twitter account for Eden. So that I think that will be focused on Eden. Then we have OnXRP, and then we have the XPunks. I think those 3 channels you should always look at in regards to updates from everything we're building, basically.
What are you going to talk about at the Linqto Global Conference? Have you decided yet?
Yeah, so it's not going to be an actual speech. I heard that they changed it around a little bit, which I actually like. It will be a panel discussion with I think it was two companies working with NFTs and 2 venture capital. And it will be on how NFTs are changing the world. I think I had it here somewhere where, no, I don't know. How NFTs are shaping the future, how NFTs are changing the world. But yeah, will be a panel discussion on, I think, the implications of NFTs, how will it continue to evolve, and yeah, so what are the general implications just outside of like profile pictures, metaverse. I think real estate will be a big one. Ticketing for, I don't know, airlines, contracts, very important. I think notaries are not going to be happy when NFTs are really going to be implemented in the general society. Yeah, those kinds of things we'll be discussing, and I think it's going to be really, really fun.
Yeah, we're going to see just so much shift, just a mind-boggling amount of shift with NFTs in the way we do things. So I would imagine Linqto is going to record, so probably we'll be able to see some of the panel. Hopefully, I'm going to keep my fingers crossed. I would imagine they probably would do it.
I think it's actually, they do a live stream of all the panels and all the speeches. You can register online. I'll send you the link.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, I would like to share that with everyone, because I'm guessing that a lot of people, who can't make it in person will be really interested in seeing the group of people that they have been able to gather. I think
Yeah.
Jordan Harry is going to speak,
Yeah.
I heard, and yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, there's just I'm really excited to.
Yeah, Greg Kidd as well. I think
Greg
everybody
Kidd as
knows
well.
Greg Kidd.
Good.
Yeah, very
Yeah, the
excited to meet him.
XRP community is really has some superstars and some up and coming people that are really just going to take this to the next level. It's so exciting. It's really maturing. I just love it. It's super, super fun.
Yeah, and it only started recently. I think like around when Equilibrium Games launched, I think it was in August. That's when you really saw the start of all these projects developing with that's when the whole airdrop craze started. And it really expanded in October after our launch. But yeah, no, I think around August, that's when the ecosystem started to develop bigger. Yeah. Obviously with Flare Network a year before, it started to become a little bit more, and then it was silent for a little bit. But yeah, I think around Equilibrium Games that it really started to hit off. Yeah,
well, superb. I'm so happy that you took the time out to join me on the channel, and I just can't wait to follow you even closer. And again, I apologize for being late to the party, but I really love what you're doing, and I know that the NFT projects are so thankful to have you. I mean, you're really filling that void for them and making their entrance into the space that much easier too. It was really, yeah, just a great idea, great business model. I think it's fantastic.
Thank you.
You're gonna be really successful. I appreciate it. Yeah.
We already like started saying in October already, like, cooperation over competition, and I think that worked out very well to really thrive together. It's always the XPL community outside everyone else. Bitcoin maxis don't like the XPL, Ethereum doesn't like it. It's always we're the ones left out, and then the whole lawsuit came down, and it was even worse. It was not just a centralized ledger or blockchain, it was also the one who's in the lawsuit. So we always were not so lucky. So let's build something together and actually show them what we can do together. Yeah,
I really think that's going to change. I don't think that, I just don't think that's going to remain forever. I really do think this interoperability and the cross-chain is going to bring, and a whole new generation of people coming in. I think it's going to change. And, every week I usually, I spend a little bit of time. I was focusing on how to level up my skills in editing. So you were, the little 2-minute clip I did for you on Twitter was another kind of leveling up of a new technique that I had never done before. And yeah, and so every week I'm doing something free, not a charge for anybody. I'm not sponsoring, I'm not paid to do it, but every week I'm just kind of learning a new technique to do those 2-minute clips for people just to share with what's going on. So if you get anyone, and I can't promise that I can, fit them in on a timely manner, because I only can do about 1 a week because of my time. But if you have anybody that's coming onto the ledger that would like to have a 2-minute clip, just, send them my way, and then I'll start making out a queue. And yeah, it's my contribution to all of these great projects that are coming onto the ledger. So just want to make sure that, that you know that, because you might come across something again sooner than I do. With my nose down with the payment world, you have a, you're really paying attention to what's going on in the NFT world.
Whatsoever. We're very close with a lot of projects. Like we actually, every project that listed on our decks, we went into a one-on-one call, and there's about 85 listed now, I think. Oh, 85. So
that means I'm booked until like 2025.
But yeah, well, imagine how Louis feels, because he is also going into these interviews, these talks, and also designing, creating the XPunks. He's doing a lot. So a big shout out to him as well. Yeah. Well,
thank your team from me, and good luck to you. And again, thank you so much for taking the time. And we talk to you soon. We'll catch up with you in 6 months and see how you're doing.
Sounds great. Sounds great. And thank you for having me. It was a pleasure.
You're very welcome. All right, Kai. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.